Hi my lovelies, welcome back to my channel, and for everybody who is new, I'm Leorah and I'm so glad you found me. So welcome to today's video, which is one of my wrapping related videos. And for everybody who is new to my channel, every 2 weeks I'm doing one video that is wrapping related, because obviously when you've seen my other videos, wrapping is a big part of my styling, it's a big part of my life, it's a big part of how I'm living my religion and all kinds of things. So there is a big part of that in my life, so that's why I'm also featuring it here on my channel. And this video is in collaboration with Wrapunzel, who is an amazing US-based brand that is providing beautiful things for head wrapping. So everything, of course, that is Wrapunzel related, their website and all of that will be linked in the description box down below, just so you know, and they have provided everything you're seeing here. So sweeties, today you're seeing me a way I don't think you've ever seen me like this, because I'm wearing no shaper. This is how I look. I never go wrapped like this, ever since I sort of found shapers for me. I'm not doing that anymore. It's just not the life I'm living. I'm so in love with the way I look and how it embellishes my wrapping when I'm wearing a shaper underneath my wraps. But with all of that being said, there's nothing wrong with this. I just wanted to be covered when I'm starting this video. So it is not going to be a real wrapping tutorial what we're doing today, but before you click out and lose interest, I think there is something in this video that is actually super interesting for all of us, because shapers, and I have a couple of them lying here in front of me, shapers don't have eternal life, you know, as we don't either. Shapers also have sort of a lifespan and they wear out. And I think I want to address that a little bit, because it's a normal thing to happen, and especially when you're wearing your shaper every day and you have like your favorite shaper that you're wearing every day, at some point it's just going to wear out. There is nothing you can do, you know, you'll just have to get yourself a new one. Now the thing is, and you know that the Wendy shaper from Wrapunzel is, from the very beginning, it has been my most favorite shapers. I have all of their shapers, but the Wendy shaper is my most favorite shaper, and that is this one, for example, and also this one happens to be a Wendy shaper. This is a newer one. This is the shade blonde, or the color blonde, and this is of course a black. They also have white ones and brown ones. So anyway, just saying, this was my first shaper that I got from Wrapunzel. I have some cat hairs on it because seriously, Oreo, my cat, is everywhere. So anyway, sorry, real life situation. Okay, so this was my very first shaper, and I started to work with Wrapunzel. It's almost 2.5 years ago, almost. Okay, so this is how long I've had the shaper. Now this shaper is not pretty anymore. Let's face it. Let's face facts. This is not pretty anymore. It's lumpy, which is probably just the stuffing, so that can be repaired. But here, this is totally worn out, and of course also the velvet band here is coming loose. There is a hole here. I can fix that, no problem. Just, you know, I wanted to give you like a real life check, how real life is. Okay, because there's nothing wrong with this. So do I want to throw this out? No, because it is still my favorite shaper. Yes, I do have another Wendy, but I cannot always wear a blonde one under, you know, every kind of wrap, because some of them are sheer, some of the scarves are sheer, and then if you have a blonde one underneath, it just doesn't look so good, you know, especially when you're using darker sheer scarves. Okay, so anyway, so what I do, because I still want to use this one, so I'm going to show you today, and that is basically what this video is going to be all about: how to still make these worn out shapers work. Plus, it can also help you when you in general have a problem with shapers slipping off your head. So you can of course tone everything that I'm doing here down. Okay, you can use it with a smaller shaper. For example, this one here, this is a Cloud 9. As long as you have like a flat part at the beginning that frames your face for your shaper, I think you will be able to do that. This is here, for example, an Uberproof. This is what my kids call the weird mushroom hat. But anyway, also here you can see this flat part that lies close to your scalp, basically, right before it sort of poofs out. And of course, with all of the smaller shapers, you will be able to do that. And what I'm doing today and showing you today, you can use smaller scarves. Okay, just so you know. All right, so let me just put on my Wendy shaper and then let's go, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Okay, sweeties, you can already see the difference, how my face looks different, just because of the height right? I mean, it is absolutely amazing to have a shaper like this. And I think also this whole thing with the Wendy shaper, and actually a couple of you have feedbacked back to me, sort of telling me that the first time you wore a Wendy shaper, you're starting to feel this too now, that there is something special about this, because nobody will ever believe that this is natural hair volume when you're having a wrap, you know, with a Wendy shaper underneath. So there is something that it's like you're not even faking it. You know, everybody knows that there is some kind of volumizer underneath, but there is just this, it's magical. What the Wendy shaper does is magical. So anyway, maybe you can see, maybe you can't, that this sits extremely loose on me now, because it's just really, really worn out. And I have worn this basically for 2.5 years straight, because there is not a single day when I'm not wearing this one, okay? Unless now recently I've started to once in a while wear this one. And also if I had a tutorial using the Uberproof or something, then I wore that one. But usually, like 99.9% of the time, I'm wearing my Wendy, and that's why it shows signs of use, you know, of abuse probably. So you can see this is extremely loose, and under no circumstances this is going to hold anything on my head anymore. Okay, so but that's no problem. First of all, I have a high bun which sort of holds it sort of into place, okay, because it cannot completely slip off because I have the high bun. Now some of you don't have hair underneath for all kinds of reasons, so I do get it. You just have to get the shaper on for that moment until you do the next step. Okay, so for the next step I'm going to use the Shinylicious in teal. So you can use, of course, this is a very, very lightweight scarf, and when you're doing the next step, which is going to feature this one, this is a Lakeshore Bliss, you can just use a smaller scarf instead, okay? So if you cannot have a weight on your head, then just tone it down. Okay, so I'm going to fold this nicely in quarters, okay? So I'm going to basically fold it twice. Let me just figure this out 1 second. Maybe I should have prepared this, but yeah. Anyway, also I have a new setup now because I'm looking now here into the mirror. I hope this is going to be nicer now, that I'm not always like to the side like this. So anyway, now I'm going to put this one down. You can even fold it down more if you want, okay? But because I do have a big shaper, I can sort of have it a little bit wider, but it doesn't matter. So now I'm just going to put it down here at the front. Or you know what? Let's just fold it in. It really doesn't matter, just as long as the closed side is to the front, okay? So let's just put that down. And this is basically the step if you do not have like a high bun underneath and nothing holds your shaper in place. This is the one stage that you have to overcome, because once this is in place and you can tie a knot behind your head, and I hope you can tolerate a knot behind your head, but maybe if it's small scarves, maybe you can. So that is of course the thing. You need to have that one knot, because that really, really helps. Okay, so and now once I have this tied down, there is nothing that can move this shaper anymore, no matter what, you know? So I'm just pushing the black underneath a little bit so it doesn't peek out. Ow. My desk is too small. I'm hitting everything. Okay, so this is how it is. Now I'm adding something, and that is just because I want to be extra. You can absolutely skip that step. I just want to have this color featured in my outfit because I want to have this color, you know? So this is the Sparkalicious in green, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing that I just did, and just line it up a little bit further to the back. Okay, so let's just real quick do that. And again, you don't have to do that at all. It just has to do with my overall outfit. And as always, if you're interested in how my whole look turns out, you will find it at the end of the video. I always include a picture of my final outfit. So I'm just putting this on top because again, I want to have the color in the wrap. So again, I'm going to tie a knot. And now I'm going to take the Lakeshore Bliss. This one is in emerald green. I have no idea what is right now available, but just showing you this is the Lakeshore Bliss in emerald green. Okay, and now I'm going to fold this in because obviously I don't want to cover this up and I don't need a lot of width right now. So I'm going to fold it in a little bit and put it from the top down. Like this, just fold it in a tiny little bit more so I have more of the green still showing. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to sort of bunch it up here on the sides, and I'm going to cross over like this. And now I'm just going to finish this wrap off as a Israeli turban. So now what I like to do, I either braid up a little bit or I'll just wrap them. So because I have those two, I just wrap them, I just twist them. That's what I meant to say. So because I have those two, I could either do, of course, a braid, but I don't want to, so I'm just going to take those two together because they're smaller, and then of course the part of the Lakeshore Bliss, and then I'm just going to loosely, really loosely twist them like this. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. It's important for this wrap that you do it loosely. If you do it like really like a tight rope, it's going to stick up on the sides and it's not going to be like a really, really nice look. So now I'm just going to bring it up and cross over again, and then I'm just going to tuck it all the way. So I think I've done a tutorial on this wrap already, definitely of course on the Israeli turban, but I think it is very, very close to the, was it the Leorah turban or the Leorah wrap? I think that was where I braided upwards, and then I basically did the same thing here. But anyway, it is what it is, you know. I just needed a nice wrap to show you as a base what I'm doing when I'm using this shaper that, you know, is really actually not fit for use anymore, but I still want to use it. All right, so I do have a bit of a mess here going on, so I'm just going to shift stuff around. There's an enormous amount of tassels flying around here. So let's just push this in somewhere. Okay, something like that. Okay, as always, of course, I don't see how I look from from the back, but anyway, so this is basically what it is. I'm just going to push it all a little bit towards the back so I can still see this part here of the Lakeshore Bliss so it doesn't get lost. And then the nice thing also is with these winter scarves, which is of course, the Lakeshore Bliss is of course more suitable for the winter months, that you can sort of move them. You probably saw also that I was just bending them and pushing them, and they sort of, you know, they do what you want them to do. So that is really, really cool. And I feel like summer scarves don't do that so much. It's really a thing with the winter scarves that I really, really like. Plus, I mean, the sheer volume of this is just incredible. Yeah. Anyway, let me just turn around and show you. This is how it turned out. And this is how it looks from the top. So I know that this wrap is of course not a super original idea. We have done that already a couple of times, but really I just wanted to really talk to you about this topic of making the life of your shapers a little bit longer, because you know, it's hard times. Maybe we cannot go and buy a new one right now. Maybe we have to wait for a month or two till we can buy a new one, and then this is a good way so you can still use the shaper that is already a little bit worn out. So anyway, of course I'm going to have to get myself a new one at some point, but this is just a very, very nice way of still using what I love and what I have. And I hope that was helpful for you. Of course, you will find everything that I showed you today linked in the description box down below. In case you do want to order something, then you can feel free to use my discount code, which is Queen Leorah in all caps in one word, which will give you 5% off your order, and it is affiliated. So besides that, of course, as I already said, you will find all the contacts for Wrapunzel, also for my social media with more looks. Everything is going to be in the description box. And of course, I would really, really like it if you were to subscribe to my channel. And if you're watching this on the Wrapunzel channel, then please subscribe to the Wrapunzel channel too, because we are a very loving family and community here. And we are all sort of, you know, we really, really like wrapping, and we really like what it does to us and what it means to us. So it's just a super, super nice and supportive community. So that is it for today. I hope you did enjoy yourself. Of course, leave me your comments in the comment section down below. And besides that, I want to wish you an awesome day, and I'll see you here next time for my next video, which is going to be super soon. And up until then, definitely go ahead and sparkle. Hugs and kisses. Bye.